Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to those of you around the world. Welcome to the daily Trade the Chain crypto update, where we give you everything you need to know for the next 24 hours and hopefully the next few days. Today is Friday, May 26th, and we are just coming up into the Memorial Day weekend for the United States. So a bit of a long weekend for much of the US, which may not help, the low volumes that we've seen throughout the weekends recently. So, vacation weekends, you expect a bit lower volume, compared to already low volume weekends. So, something to watch out for there is, low volume can mean two things. It can mean really ugly volatility that, is very wild and not inducive to trading, or you could, also see, very flat trading with a lack of volatility because there's less participants and, you don't see much motion. And then, on the other hand is typically when the US is out of session, Asia will try and take over and potentially hurt, the US in terms of, actually being able to make use of volatility or price action in one direction or the other. So, basically, if the US is quiet, maybe Asia is moving and shaking and trying to, induce some FOMO from the US side of the market. So there's plenty of ways to interpret, how we're going to go into the low volume weekend. But, I think the first way to start is the dollar has continued to move higher. Seems to have fully reclaimed this 103.6 level, which we talked about earlier on Tuesday. It's been creeping higher, and I would be shocked that if it can't, I would, this number right here, it's, previous daily close, but it's actually a great close in terms of visualizing resistance. Resistance was about that 104.1 level, which is low of these two trading areas in early March and late February. And now that we're back in that area, you start to think about, getting up into this area, else, you'll deviate and come back down here. So the higher DXY moves, we've definitely not seen a direct inverse correlation to compared to risk assets, but continually something to keep an eye on, when this moves higher. Definitely, it caps equities price action, or at least has done so far. So we'll have to, think about, now that we're back up to 4,200 on equities, what that looks like. But, what we told the Trade the Chain community this morning was obviously right around the open. If we can hold the 4156 number, then we will head, north to 4170. And if you can flip 4170, then you'll head to 4200. Just to go ahead and, just so everyone does not think that I am BSing. That is exactly what we put in the Trade the Chain community, very early this morning prior to the open. Equities outlook, hold 4155, move to 4170, hold 4170, move towards 4200. That's exactly what happened. And so now we, zooming out a little bit, what you need to see is it needs to flip the 4198 level first, but we have these equal highs up here, right, just above 4200, right around 4213. So if you can flip 4200, you'll start to get some longs coming in, but the real number you really need to flip is at 4213 to then move higher up to the 4160, 4170 level, because you need to break these highs to then move up to that level. So we're, of course, heading into the weekend. So it'll be very interesting to see how price action flows for the next, I think there's only about 4 or 5 hours left of trading in the US session before the weekend. So it'll be very interesting to see how that closes. I would not expect it to just, rocket up to 4260, but if it does close above, 4198, then, and it's closing around the 4213, you'll definitely probably have some bulls come in early next week if we don't see immediate rejection on Sunday evening. Because remember, we're looking at the futures chart, and futures extend a little bit into after close Friday, and they open Sunday evening into Monday morning, obviously. So if we don't see, if we can hold this level, we don't see selling on Sunday evening. Well, in this case, it might be Monday evening because the Memorial Day holiday. But if the evening before the next U.S. Open, if we don't sell off, then you'll likely see some excitement as we now are knocking against this critical level of resistance. So moving forward over to Bitcoin, did not get as much volatility from the crypto side of things as we did from equities. I mean, equities completed basically a two-pronged move in just a couple of hours. Bitcoin did get above the critical level of 26.5, but getting held up at the 1 hour estimated trend moving average, which is right around 26.8. So the first number we marked out in the TTC community was 26.8 if we got above 26.5, which we are hovering around now. And now you need to break above 26.8 to move higher towards 27.5. So this is, of course, our resistance level. And if we can get above it, notice these two wicks right here, which aren't very pretty. If you can get above this level, then you can, start to talk about, starting to grind higher into 27.5. And of course, we have this kind of resistance area up here, which you need to break above to start moving towards 28K. So in my opinion, these are some ugly wicks, and it pretty much implies, we'll probably at least head to the VWAP, which is around 26.6.5. Maybe we get all the way back down to the 26.5 level. So if we get down here, look for longs back up to the 26.7 level. And then obviously if you break back down below 26.5, you're looking at kind of this scenario here, where if you confirm below, then you're basically deviating above the range, and then you're moving back down to meet these lows. So, and then of course, if you lose these lows, then you're going to be moving all the way down to, 25K, 24.8. So, moral of the story is we, of course, really want to break above 26.7.5. If we can do that, then we can start talking about moving towards 27.5, and then obviously higher, but gonna be a bit of a tough grind here due to the fact of this ugly price action that we're seeing now. And I think this hourly is about to close in just about a minute. So this looks like tweezer tops to me. It of course could buck against the bearish indication, but typically you will see the sell off, and you'll see it sell off to at least back to that local high, which is 26.6, maybe down here to 26.5. And this is where you'd want to look for longs. I could, of course, be wrong. And that's why, I'm not entering shorts right here. We obviously broke above the resistance level. So I'm waiting on longs and waiting to see if we can recover above 26.7. If we can't, then we'll head down here and then, make some more plays after that happens. So looking at ETH, very similar. Of course, we told the trade the chain community, break above 1817, move towards 1836, break above 1836, move towards 1875. Obviously got above, the 1817 number, which was the weekly VWAP, which we talk about quite often. Broke above that, retested it, moved higher, obviously tagged 1836, but has not gotten above 1836. And again, does look a little bit toppy here, but, no automatic indication. We still need to wait to see if it can break above 1836 or not, because, we've certainly, crypto is, although these are candles that I typically would short, just, the fact that we're above the VWAP and, even though we're at resistance, I would prefer to look for longs than just diving into shorts. So we'll see how it reacts to the 1836 level. If we can hold that 1817 level, I'm probably going to add another long. And then, of course, if you can actually break above that 1836 level, then you can start to talk about 1875, and of course get above 1875, and you can start talking about 1900 and low 1900 areas. So moral of the story right now is, price did have a nice little boost, and we actually rode the trend with equities, which was very nice, but did not have as much volatility as equities. So getting cut, at these resistance levels typically will imply back to that previous support for both Bitcoin and Ethereum. But again, I'm not shorting it yet because of, the critical levels that we broke above. And this is a very nice deviation if it actually confirms. We actually had some deviation here, and now we're back to the top of the range. So, these are not trades that I want to short heading into the low volume weekend, because, we could have a lot of Americans just set some shorts and walk away because, price boosted, and then Asia really ruins their fun over the weekend and maybe sends us higher. I don't know if that's going to be the case. I'm playing things level to level. Obviously, we got our longs this morning. Now it's kind of indicating short, but I would prefer to look for more longs, just given the context of the larger move. So patience pays off. And if you miss the immediate move, don't dive in. Wait for more price action to develop. We will definitely be trying along around 26.5, and we'll be trying along around 26.8 if we can break above 26.7 cleanly for Bitcoin. And then, obviously would look for more longs for 1817 for ETH, or at 1817 for ETH. And then if we can get above the 1836 level, obviously look for longs as well. So, and then of course, if we make it below 1817, look for shorts. If we make it below 26.5, look for shorts. And, we've got our levels marked out, and we've got an idea around where things may head. For some reason, I do have this kind of bullish hunch over the weekend, but I could certainly be wrong, and I definitely don't want to influence anybody with bad trading. So, definitely play it level by level, but I do kind of have an inkling of potential bullishness throughout this weekend for some reason. There's no real direct indication. PCE was pretty gross today. It came in higher than expected, but equities and risks still moving higher. So trade the trend, and until we break below support, then there's real no reason to short yet in my eyes, and we'll look for longs. And if longs fail, then we'll look for shorts. So good luck, happy trading, and speak to everybody next week, maybe Monday on Memorial Day if we get some crazy volatility, but we may be taking the day off as well, depending on how things look, just because it is a US holiday. So good luck, happy trading. And if you're not in the Trade the Chain community, you are missing out on at least 4 trade ideas per day, as well as a global community of traders and experts who help you with trading, finding ideas, trade execution, all sorts of fun stuff. So please join up. We do have a $50 membership deal right now where you can just access the community and get all of the trade calls and expert research and emails for just $50 a month. So if you want to sign up for that, please go ahead and do so at discord.gg/tradethechain. That is discord.gg/tradethechain. It will prompt you to follow the sign up process, which is very easy and simple. So good luck, happy trading. See everybody next week.